So we got a couple of different things. We've got statistics for the analytical kids. We have visual, a couple of pictures. We got 3 pictures, 2 pictures of 2 actual photographs. And kids know that this was about the time that photography was just being invented. So first time these pictures are being shown to the mass public. So we're going for a little bit of shock and awe here. First one's Gettysburg, Battlefield of Gettysburg. Very almost cliche, like many people have seen it, but not many people have thought about it in the context that we're trying to get at here. The other one is post-amputation soldier who's sitting taking a picture. He's amputation above the elbow. So kids are like, first off, what happened to his arm? And why is it like that? And then how's that? And then we can start pulling out, okay, so what does this mean for him for the rest of his life? What does it mean for his family for the rest of his life? What does it mean for his community? And how does it take it beyond the war? And then there's one final picture, which is a sketch, but it's still got the value. We wanted students to see what a mangled limb might look like a little bit, so that it's a little bit of that shock value. You can pull in the medical tents from the Civil War and how crude that was. Again, we're just trying to get to that point of like, what does war look like? What does actual war look like? Not because unless you're on the battlefield, nobody saw what it looked like. So hopefully the kids are trying to think and or get to the point of like, well, what is mass media or mass public's finally seeing these images? Is that the good thing or the bad thing? Is it a good thing that people are knowledgeable of that these things are happening on the battlefield, or is it better to follow maybe a little ignorantly? Is that better long-term wise?
The images are the best way that we find to access all of our students. They all respond well to being able to see something visual. And we also get to talk with them about how different it is now. So these images, these brutal, gruesome images coming out for the first time then, how people would have reacted to it compared to our students who are very used to these more gruesome images.
Shocking pictures for them, it's interesting to me that they find them so shocking because of what their generation is exposed to. The pictures we show them is not even as bad as you would see on the news or a video game or anything like that. But yet, I think when they start to put it into context, and that's what we're trying to get here, these images, putting them into context for them, that these are actual human beings, this is the result of conflict, whatever. It's interesting to me that they're still shocked by it because it's nothing they haven't seen before. But I think when they're just so used to going through life maybe a little blindly, or just because that is the normal for them, they don't put it in the context of where it's coming from.
They meet a variety of learning styles. The statistics are great for analytical kids who love to see numbers. The multimedia of the video is really engaging, and it's pretty much the only thing that can show the true destruction of Sherman's March. And then the images, just the kids are so focused on them and they latch right onto them. And it meets the needs and the learning styles of all of our kids and shows the impact in the most ways possible. So if we can meet all the learning styles the first time, we only have to teach something or clarify something once.
I like the variety. I like that it's a little bit of everything. And they're easy for me. I only got to make one copy. I tape them down to desks, so I'm not burning through a bunch of copies. I like that there's the video, and like I said, the video, the statistics, the pictures, all of it's being incorporated. So we're not biased to any one kind of student, or I think everybody kind of gets a little taste here. So if the pictures aren't shocking to you, maybe the idea of seeing that more people actually died from disease than the actual war itself, I think, was kind of a shocking thing for a lot of people. So it doesn't just have to be like a gruesome image to shock somebody. It can just be a new piece of information that, blows their mind.
We try to use a really good balance of primary and secondary resources. Our kids see so much stuff in textbooks told by someone who told someone else a few hundred years later. So as much as we can give them these actual images from the time period, as possible, we get a lot better reactions out of them.
Definitely.
And then they can relate it to what information they get in today's world and how different it was then.
We try real hard to stay out of the textbook.
Yeah.
It's just the kids just check out immediately. So and primary, secondary resources, especially primary resources, are just so real to them. They're so I don't know, maybe it's more tactile for them, I think. I think it's more tangible for them. It's more real to them. So I think we get a better just response all around. And we can get to the primary resources and stay out of the, don't worry, there's a place for a textbook, but more overview than getting into depth, which we were trying to do today.
Yeah. Anything we can use that's going to make them realize that they can only trust things that are happening right in front of them or an image as opposed to someone else's account. So anything that they can look at and see the reality of what was actually happening and develop their own opinions as opposed to listening to what someone else said. It doesn't help that we can't print things in color. I do find that our reactions are a little bit better if we can show them the color images when possible. And I don't know, I think I'd like to insert maybe like one more primary resource text-wise. There's a little bit of a lack of text here. We try to have them reading and writing every class period, and so there was it was a little light on the reading, which isn't our usual lesson. So if we could insert something in there where they were accessing some text, that would be great.
Well, and I like too that they're reading a different kind of text.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always just like print. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So that's why I like the stats and the pictures and the video, because it's just a different kind of text that they're reading. But I agree. You know, a letter home or something like that. Maybe some kind of like someone reiterating a personal experience from the battle or something, so it's more real to them. These kind of things they're exposed to these things all the time. The images, the pictures, the video, the stats, they're all out there. So while it's kind of contained in this little canned lesson, and it's got meaningfulness within our unit and our lesson, the idea is that they can take these images and these videos and all these different sources, and hopefully, while they're breaking it down and adding some thought to it, some thoughtfulness to it here, and critically thinking here, the long-term goal is that they start doing that in life, right? As an adult, as a whatever, as you're growing up, you're not taking somebody else's opinion, you're forming your own. So it's the practical side of these resources, like trying to make it real for them, you know, and long-term, lasting, not just one lesson's worth.